So, Fáilte Roth Golair, on behalf of Miss Loftus, Miss Fitzpatrick, and all our OCC staff and myself, you're very welcome and thank you for joining us in celebrating the graduation class of 2022. We understand that the pandemic has physically distanced and mentally exhausted us, but we now can all safely celebrate this great occasion in this one room. Looking around, you can see that the students and the teachers have made an enormous effort in making the venue and this event so special today. We know, graduating class, that you are not getting to celebrate in the shirts and ties and the dresses. And I've certainly turned a blind eye to the fake tan and acrylic nails. But each of you certainly look as handsome and beautiful in your school uniform that you all wear so proudly for OCC. We welcome our parents who may be joining us virtually. Parents, we commend you too on all your support, sacrifices, and guidance you offered your child through these challenging few years. We will now proceed with our celebration by calling on Andy Monaghan to introduce our graduation theme.
Good evening, Mr. Rogers, Miss Loftus, fellow classmates and staff of O'Carroll College. You're all very welcome to our sixth-year graduation ceremony. The theme chosen for this evening is The Next Step. The idea of this theme is to encourage students to never be afraid to take the next step. Sometimes the smallest step in the right direction ends up being the biggest step of your life. We have grown in so many ways to become the young adults you see here before you today. As we now move towards the next step in our lives, to face the new times ahead, to embrace new opportunities, we do so with the knowledge and life lessons we have learned from our families, our teachers, Mr. Rogers, Miss Loftus, our year leader, Miss Fitzpatrick, and indeed each other. For this, I extend our heartfelt thanks. As we take the next step in our lives, we may grow apart, but that doesn't change the fact that for a long time, we grew side by side. We will always have our amazing memories of the time we spent here in O'Carroll College, and for that, I am glad. We started here together, and now we're leaving the same way. I think that here today, we get to appreciate each other one last time, and we will never forget our cherished time together in O'Carroll College. We will arise from today full of aspirations, knowing all that we can achieve by just taking that next step.
The next step. Just now, I've made a big decision. I hope it won't meet any derision. It's about the next step I will take, the 1,000 brief journeys I'll make. My next step, I really want it to be one that makes me a bit more happy. A step towards love and being kind. A step towards grace and peace of mind. A step without even considering what others might say about or think, but will make the world a bit better. That is what in the end will matter. I hope that my next step, my dear friend, will become in the world a kind of trend. We will not bother to stand high or low, what will count is the direction where to go. A thrill is moving through my heart. I hardly can wait to make this start. Thrilled about opportunities I may meet. To do good, I will get right on my feet. Come on, my dear friends and foes, get up, as the saying goes. Our next step will be in the right direction, a tiny stride closer to wonderful perfection.
School bag in hand, she leaves home in the early morning, waving goodbye feeling that I'm losing her forever, and without really entering her world. I'm glad whenever I can share her laughter, that funny little girl. Slipping through my fingers all the time, I try to capture every minute, the feeling in it, slipping through my fingers all the time. Do I really see what's in her mind? Each time I think I'm close to knowing, she keeps on growing, slipping through my fingers all the time. Sleep in her eyes, her and me at the breakfast table, barely awake, I let precious time go by. Then when she's gone, there's that odd melancholy feeling and a sense of guilt I can't deny. What happened to the wonderful adventures, the places I had planned for us to go? Well, some of that we did, but most we didn't, and why I just don't know. Slipping through my fingers all the time, I try to capture every minute, the feeling in it, slipping through my fingers all the time. Do I really see what's in her mind? Each time I think I'm close to knowing, she keeps on growing, slipping through my fingers all the time. Sometimes I wish that I could freeze the picture and save it from the funny tricks of time. Slipping through my fingers all the time, I try to capture every minute, the feeling in it, slipping through my fingers all the time.
Always be understanding to your enemies, be loyal to your friends, be strong enough to face the world each day, be weak enough to know you cannot do everything alone. Always be generous to those who need your help, be frugal with that you need yourself, be wise enough to know that you do not know everything, be smart enough to continue learning. Always be willing to share your joys, be willing to share the sorrows of others, be a leader when you see a path others have missed, be a follower when you are shrouded by the mist of uncertainty. Always be first to congratulate an opponent who succeeds, be last to criticize a colleague who fails, be sure where your next step will fall, so that you will not tumble. Be sure of your final destination by setting your goals along the way. Above all, always be yourself.
The mementos we offer this afternoon are symbolic of our time spent in O'Carlin College. Emma brings up a photograph representing our year, symbolising our unity and friendship. Sheena brings up a musical instrument. This is a reminder of our musical talent throughout the year. Aoife brings up a model of Turlough O'Carlin, which symbolises the culture, heritage and tradition in which our school is rooted. This is reflected in the harp on our school uniform, which we wear every day. Connor brings up our school basketball jersey and football. This is a reminder of all of the winning teams you have been a part of over the last 6 years. Leah brings up a copy of the syllabi, which represent the academic learning in our school. Gary brings up a globe, which represents our world and all the opportunities we will have in the future. John brings up a birth certificate, representing the journey we have made through our lives so far. And John Paul brings up the school diary, which represents the rules and regulations we have abided by during our time in O'Carlin College.
Hi everyone. I'm sure everyone here knows how well I am at keeping my speeches short. so I'll try my best as we travel all the way back to first year. How little Kieran was terrified about getting a bad note or forgetting to do his homework. How 3 days in, some lads are already asking me for homework. I remember looking at the big scary 6th years thinking, once I'm in 6th year, I'll be that big and scaring all the first years too. But I'm still kind of waiting for that growth spurt. Going into first year, I thought I had everything sorted. Become a dentist, that was the mission. But I don't think I really knew what it was like back then. Soon enough, the big bad junior cert was looming over us. I remember thinking that was the biggest exam ever. And in hindsight, I think all the buckets of sweat were a bit of an exaggeration, especially since I have no idea where my results are gone. TY came around and it was the highlight of my school life, albeit being cut short. It's hard to find a fault with TY, from the lads' synchronised swimming routine, to slipping and sliding in the ice rink, and helping design the new school, which I'm sure will be built soon enough. It was in TY that I realised that dentistry wasn't what it was cracked up to be. I didn't fancy myself staring into a mouth 5 hours a day, but I think the time I spent in TY allowed me to watch enough Grey's Anatomy to realise I want to become a surgeon. Suddenly, we are struck by the pandemic, COVID-19, and the lockdown that swept the country. I know many of us struggled with online learning, mostly getting up for assemblies at 8:50. But it was tough for many of us. The lack of contact with each other drove each other to the extreme, and I don't just mean all the shaved heads and mullets. However, seeing everyone sitting here in the gym proves one thing overall, that we are fighters. We are resilient, but most of all, we care for each other. Always picking someone up if they've fallen down, being there for a shoulder to cry on, even if it is just about Irish. All of you have done the school, your family, and yourselves proud. You really put the meaning behind strength in numbers. Now, I don't think many of us would be here without the help from the staff of OCC. By making sure we have a ruptured eardrum for not moving from the locker quick enough, and by reminding us every day that we have to exit through the side doors and into the back door. Thanks to all the wellbeing tutors who are there for us anytime we needed them, anytime we needed a tiny bit of help, and helped with everything we exaggerated with. Thanks to all the caretaking staff, Greg, Francis, and Linda, who never said no to a chat on the way to class and always kept a few pancakes in the morning. Thanks to Debbie and Grania, who always preventing us from getting hangry. To our parents and families, thank you for being there for us, for loving us, for being our best friend and our worst enemies, whichever we needed at the time. To Kathleen, who has done more work than any of us will ever know. To all the teachers who somehow stuck with us, even if we were responsible for a vein popping in a few heads. All the members of the graduation committee who organised an amazing afternoon. I'm sure it wasn't easy getting last minute profiles and getting people who are very reluctant to sing. You've organised an amazing afternoon, and we are all extremely grateful of all the work you've done. My focal score, I can't leave the person that we have annoyed the most. Someone who has always looked out for us, someone who was always in our corner, and always made sure we had a ball, not caring too much if we belted it 5 fields away. Inni Gila Fádig, Táimid Galea Fiamh as Gachar tú dún. Bhí an tá dargaran gur tú ceann blina Tishnach, Cerach agus Lach. Mrs. Patrick, we're all extremely grateful of everything you've done, and we are more than lucky to have a year ahead so understanding, helpful, and kind. Go mágad ó gachar tú dún. 5 or 6 years, we've come into this building every day, spent no more time with each other than we did our own families. And without even realising it, we became a community of our own. It was here we learned some of life's most important lessons, some of them being hard learned. To you, my fellow students, I am honoured to have shared this journey with you, a journey that has now sadly come to an end. But life is made of meetings and partings. And though we have to part now, when we see each other again, there will always be the memories of this exceptional school, which we are so fortunate to be a part of. I want to wish every single one of you the best and luck in every dream you have, because I know more than anything, it's that all of you can achieve beyond your wildest imaginations.
Going out tonight changes into something red. Her mother doesn't like that kind of dress. Everything she never had, she's showing off. Driving too fast, moon is breaking through her hair. She's heading for something that she won't forget. Having no regrets is all that she really wants. We're only getting older, baby. I've been thinking about it lately. Does it ever drive you crazy just how fast the night changes? Everything that you've ever dreamed of disappearing when you wake up. But there's nothing to be afraid of. Even when the night changes, it will never change me and you. Chasing it tonight, doubts are running round her head. He's waiting, hides behind a cigarette. Heart is beating loud and she doesn't want it to stop. Moving too fast, moon is lighting up her skin. She's falling, doesn't even know it yet. Having no regrets is all that she really wants. We're only getting older, baby. I've been thinking about it lately. Does it ever drive you crazy just how fast the night changes? Everything that you've ever dreamed of disappearing when you wake up. But there's nothing to be afraid of. Even when the night changes, it'll never change, baby. It'll never change, baby. It will never change me and you.
The next step. Sometimes we want to stay where we are. It's warm and comfortable, there's no reason to change. Content, no desire to travel too far or to be a star. At peace with no desire to broaden your range. Moments in time all have something in common. That is, they never last. You must always move on, those moments become your past. You always have to take the next step. Life is a demanding taskmaster. It cares not for how much you've wept. It drags you along faster and faster. Desperately, we cling to those happy times. For some, few and far between. For some, there's many happy rhymes, but for all, not enough are heard or seen. Hang on to the memories, but move along. Hang on to the memories, they are your past. Hang on to the memories, they are your song. Hang on to the memories, make them last. Memories and moments gone so fast. Take that next step with passion and hope. Cling to life and paint your own past with fire and zeal and an artist's scope. Take the next step, your canvas is blank. You are the artist, inspiration you seize. It's all up to you and a God you can thank for helping you paint your own masterpiece.
Here we are now, graduating. I said to myself, just be natural. You're only speaking in front of the lads, not the UN, but now that I'm up here, I take back what I said. When this Keelan asked me to speak, I didn't know what to say. Not that I didn't know what to say, but more so, I didn't know how to sum up our OCC life. But I'll try my best without keeping you. Before I go any further, Mr. Murray, I tried to fit in all my speech techniques, so don't judge me. At the start, we all felt like we were at the bottom of something, climbing a mountain of a summit that we would never reach. Yet here we are today at the top, looking back at all the memories we made along the way. We shouldn't look at graduation as an end goal, but instead see it as part of a larger journey in life. Looking out at all of you here today, I want you to know that wherever your future takes you, whether you become doctors or professional footballers, or someday star of Broadway, which I don't doubt any of you could do, I know that you'll all achieve and excel. But the most important thing to remember is to do something that makes you happy. And do yourself proud, because I am proud of each and every one of you. And I'm proud to say that I've spent 6 years with all of you, because it's been special and I'll truly miss you all. It is sad to say that our OCC life is over, but it's just the beginning of our next step. And we have so much to look forward to and a whole world to take on. And I wish you all the very best wherever life and wind it takes you. Our theme this afternoon is the next step. So with that, I'll leave you this quote from Carl Jung. Be simple and always take the next step. You needn't see it in advance, but you can always look back afterwards. There's no how of life, one just does.
Graduation day is finally here, your dreams you did pursue. All your hard work is paid off, we are so very proud of you. The nights of study, the projects due, you did them all and more too. It is all paid off, your studying is done, we hope you make time to enjoy some fun. Always remember life is a learning journey, keep filling your mind with all that is worthy. May the happiness you feel today be a feeling you keep as you go on your way. May life be happy and good to you, and may you find success in all you do.
Okay, so there's absolutely no pressure on me to follow those speeches. Thanks very much, Kiervox. Thanks, Nadia. That's great. Okay, well, firstly, I want to acknowledge all the hard work done by Ms. Teeling and her team to prepare for today's ceremony. I think you'll all agree that the hall looks absolutely fantastic. And I want a very special mention to go to Orla O'Malley and Lucy Leonard, who gave up so much of their time to provide us with the beautiful music today that we've all enjoyed. So maybe we give them a quick full of us. So good afternoon to all of our students, parents and staff of O'Carlin College for this very special and memorable occasion, the graduation of the class of 2022. As you are aware, I have the honour and pleasure of being sixth year leader, and have accompanied all the students present here today on their academic journey over the last 2 years of senior cycle. I was more than ably assisted in this by your incredible wellbeing tutors, Miss Dempsey, Mr. Winters, Miss Ty. I think you will agree with me when I say that Carlsberg don't do tutors, but if they did, I wish to sincerely thank you, my tutors, for your unceasing help and support to me and to all of you over the last 2 years. It's difficult to believe that you have now come to the end of your 5 or 6 years here in O'Carlin College. And it may be worth taking a moment to think back on when you first joined us in 2016 or 2017. The theme of our graduation ceremony is the next step, but I ask you to take a step back with me in order to remember where we have come from. These were the years when Justin Bieber's Sorry was constantly on the radio, and Donald Trump became the new American president. It was the year that certain notorious set of Cavan twins first graced our screens in Gogglebox. And for our rugby fans, it was the year that Ireland defeated the New Zealand All Blacks for the first time in 111 years. This is the world when you first entered O'Carlin College. From that time on, we've watched you grow in confidence and skill as you learn to navigate the sometimes choppy waters of secondary school. Under the watchful eyes of your junior wellbeing tutors, Miss O'Gara, Miss Monaghan, Miss Brady, Miss Ty, Mr. Moynihan, Miss Dawson, and your TY tutors, Miss Denning and Mr. Smith, you achieved beyond even your own expectations and developed into fine ambassadors for OCC, as you were involved in myriad of school events, including the Barcelona and Paris school tours, trips to Tana and Causey Farm for the inimitable bog jumping, not to mention the amazing show put on by those of you involved in transition year. On embarking on senior cycle, we entered a new world of restrictions, social distancing, and online learning. Suddenly, everything you held to be true and constant in your school life, and indeed in life generally, changed. If there is one thing that you, the students, have shown us throughout all of these challenges, then it is, to borrow a phrase from a certain former American president, is Federling. We can. You turned up, you logged on, you stayed home and you sacrificed. You kept faith that we would emerge from this challenging period. And here we are, on the eve of the Leaving Certificate, and I say to you, Is Féidir live? You can. You can take this next step. You have shown that you have the resilience to persevere in the face of great adversity. You have the compassion to bring others who are flagging along with you. If I could offer you any advice, it would be this: never fear failure. You will never regret what you have tried and failed, only what you have feared to try. Take each new step with courage and the confidence that, win or lose, you will fall forward, not back. Each new step brings new learning and new wisdom and allows you to grow deeper as a person. Never doubt that you are good enough, and never underestimate the importance of a kind word to another person. As your year leader, I have witnessed firsthand that kindness and care. You have borne each other up. You've laughed and cried together. And now you will succeed together. It has been a joy to witness all of this, and it is with great pride that I wish the class of 2022 all the happiness and success in the world. Thank you.
I'm just going to start off by thanking Mr. McConnon. He made a step for this lectern, but once I seen Kervok and Josh, I knew I didn't actually need it. So we're okay. We can crack on. I don't need to take it out. So thanks anyway, Mr. McConnon. Well, I might use it again. This year, lads, we've had one of the most successful years we've ever had in school football. I'm 16 years here, which I know some of you look at me couldn't possibly be old enough to be here 16 years, but I am. And yeah, I am Miss Dempsey, yeah, imagine. But this year has been the most successful team, and involved in that team, there's a very, very special bunch of lads. There was 6 or 7 6-years that were involved in that team that I haven't had the pleasure of dealing with many lads like that down through the years. I know emotions are running high here today with a few boys, but what I want to do is I want to make a little presentation of the McGee's jerseys. They're a pretty decimated set as it is already. So we've gotten sponsorship, we've got new jerseys, but I'd like to give the lads in 6th year their jersey that they wore this year and wore with pride. And for those of you that travelled to Mullingar and travelled to finals and seen how they wore that jersey, and the pride and the effort that they gave towards this school was exceptional this year. And you asked them to do, they would go through an absolute wall for you. They're exceptional bunch of young men. So I'm going to call you up, each of you, if you want, and you can come up on stage and I'll give you your jerseys. So the first person up, this man, I broke a clipboard in the very first game of the year because he let his man away from him to get a goal at the start of it, which is he done nothing but give lads a third time throughout the year. And whenever we needed a break, he lay down and feigned injury and had a big smile on his face. So Conor Price is the first man up. Next man up, I wear number 5. If this man is not wearing a Meath jersey in the next couple of years, there's going to be very much a massive injustice. Whenever the chips were down, whenever you needed somebody to stand up, he was unbelievable. And including the last game that we won the Shield final in the first half when everyone was struggling, this man just took it all on his own shoulders and was absolutely exceptional, as he was the entire year. It's Brian Riley. Next up, we have the powerhouse at centre half back, who the entire year you're always a little bit nervous he might get caught for pace, but not once did anyone get the better of him. Exceptional worker again, led by example and drove the whole team forward. That was Dara Dillon. As I say, the set was under a bit of pressure, so we don't have a number 12, but this man played several different roles for us all through the year, starting a corner forward, working, loved a little bit of style. It was amazing we played Kells. He kind of was a bit familiar with a few of those and kicked a few unbelievable points against Kells. I think he might have had a little point or two to prove. I do hope to kick his arse on the golf course over the summer at some stage or another. Well, I'll do my best anyway. That's Cian McFadden. Next up, this man proved that I was tall enough to stand behind the lectern today. Done a brilliant job at the start of the year, played in the first game or two, and was very unlucky not to get his starting place throughout the year. Whenever he did come on, worked tirelessly, scored a great point in the Leinster semi-final, which I know he will talk about for years to come, and that's Josh Flanagan. Next up then, this man played against Kells, got his first start for the team and worked tirelessly throughout the game, had an exceptional game, and after the game said something to me that meant an awful lot, where he fulfilled a dream by getting to play for the school, for the senior team, and it meant an awful lot, and that's Cormac Farley. Now, the next one's a little bit suspect. He mightn't have been the most talented footballer that we had, but I've yet to see a better linesman throughout the year. He never missed the bus, was the first man to have the fiver paid, and by Jesus, we weren't leaving here without him. JP O'Byrne. Now, last by no means least, our captain this year, who led from the front, who is an emotional wreck down there at the moment. Mightn't have been the best man now for watching the language when he was giving the speech, but absolutely gave everything, and nothing I don't think meant more to this man this year than to be captain for this. The pride and the example that he showed to everybody, the way he rallied the fifth years together, got all the other year groups together, and just led by example throughout the year. Anything I asked him to do, couldn't have asked for anything better, and was a real inspiration to everybody else. Had a tough time around Christmas and really stood tall, and football was a huge thing, I know, in this man's life around Christmas, and that's Andy Monaghan.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Okay, I suppose my address now comes, and just good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. A graduation ceremony is always such a special occasion, the culmination of years of hard work, the actualization of goals attained, and the acknowledgement of successes achieved. So it is only fitting that this afternoon we celebrate the journey that we've travelled together these last few years. May I remind you all that graduation in itself is not an end goal. It is instead a part of a larger journey of life. Wherever your future takes you, let it take you somewhere. Your graduation serves you as a launching point, projecting you to wherever your futures are meant to take you. Whether you land yourselves a career or continue your education at university. It has been a journey that started with tentative steps, perhaps, but one that has taken us to remarkable heights. We have encountered some trials and tribulations along the way, soldiered on and come out the stronger for them. We have experienced exceptional moments, magical moments, and created memories that will be fondly remembered in the years ahead. We have a number of families represented here who have been part of the school for a very long time now and have come to the end of a long chapter. Along with the parents and families who have been with us for 6 years, there are some parents who have had children attending our school over the last 7, 10+ years. Thank you for all your contributions to the school. The school is certainly better for having you as part of our school family. Also worth mentioning is the Parents Association, who have supported the school in so many ways. We say thank you to Catherine Smith, who has given many years of dedication to the Parents Association and to our school. Remember, coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress, and working together is success. As we look back over the last few years, certainly there was a beginning, and thankfully there was also progress. And yes, undeniably, we have been successful. Let's begin where all good stories begin, at the beginning. Who can forget when we all came together for the first time? Nervous young students in first year, yet proud parents and a dedicated staff body. What a commencement ceremony it was, signalling what would be the start of wonderful things to come. Yes, we all came together with a common purpose in mind, to encourage and develop lifelong learning in the young ladies and gentlemen who sit before us this afternoon. Steadfast, resolute, and determined, we all kept together. Day by day, we focused on our goal, keeping together and working together. We faced incredible and memorable moments that we chose to use as a stepping stone as we tenaciously pursued our common goals. And what progress we made, as just a few of the following highlights attest to this. Gary Smith helping at least 2 damsels in distress by changing their flat tires. Miss O'Connor and Miss Bedice are forever grateful. I believe in one higher level maths class, led by Michael McGovern, getting up and singing happy birthday to Miss O'Connor. Saoirse Winters balancing on one leg on a medicine ball while hula hooping and playing the ukulele. Now that's OCC's Got Talent. Dancing through the decades in TY, where you danced through the 20s, the 40s, the 60s, the 80s. Andy and his fellow colleagues showed off their muscles in that famous swimming scene. Some of you today competed in the Rubbish Film Festival, beating St. Pat's Navan, Loretto, Mercy, Dunshaughlin and Rathote. Of course, we can't forget the lockdown haircuts. Some very dodgy mullets, including my own, when we returned after those lockdowns. Michael and Kirvok placing second in the European Financial Quiz in Europe. And one that stands out for me, and I'm sure you all. Cian McFadden and Andy Monaghan raising an impressive €5,250 for Mead Springboard families and Join James's journey. A massive thank you, lads, and a deserving round of applause. Young adults, you impressed us all the time, even if we had too little opportunity to formally recognize and record it. We noticed when you included the student that often sat alone. We were aware of your punctuality and your good behavior, even if we seemed to spend more time on those students whose records were blemished. Your undemanding profile allowed us to concentrate on others and to give those something to aspire to, even if they were not ready yet. The end result, ladies and gentlemen, of our coming together, keeping together, and working together, in spite of the obstacles that we may have faced along the way, the end result, the graduating class of 2022. How proud we are of the successes you have made with the opportunities that you were offered. You are ready. Take the next step. If you find a moment, we invite you to remember the things that don't define you, your mistakes, your problems, your thoughts, but rather remember things that actually define you, your experiences, your perspectives, your personalities, your creativities, your goals, your hobbies, your passions, your attitudes, and your habits, which is precisely how you should approach the next chapter in life. But more importantly, be cheerful, strive to be happy, and which is how to approach life. May your years ahead continue to be characterized by empathy, compassion, objectivity, and a willingness to take risks. All the problems and challenges you have faced and overcome have left you stronger with valuable coping skills for similar experiences in the real world. It is so important that you do not lose sight of the long list of achievements you had in the bag long before today. May you always lead by example, work hard and play by the rules. And if you don't, then don't get caught. May your successes be many and your tribulations be few and far between. I look down now and I see the future is bright. Shape and mold it in a way that best fits you. We wish you everything that you so richly deserve in the years ahead. And it's certainly been an honour and a privilege watching your progress and success. Gura Mila Mahagath. Can I just call on Saoirse Winters? We have just a presentation for three very special ladies here today. Kathleen Murray, Helen Loftus, and Aileen Teeling. So, Saoirse is just going to give a small presentation to each of the three of you. Give a round of applause for Kathleen. So we have one for Miss Loftus. And last but not least, Miss Teeling.
My role this afternoon is to say thank you. We thank Miss Fitzpatrick, your year leader, who has offered words of advice and guidance throughout your 5th and 6th year. She encouraged you all to find and follow your passions, to be safe, be fair, and perhaps most importantly, to be kind. We encourage you all to remember Miss Fitzpatrick and to be grateful for her wisdom and guidance. Please, can you show your appreciation for Miss Patrick with a bula bus? And can I call on Emma Carey to come to the stage to make a presentation now to Miss Patrick, please. Next, we wish to thank your exceptional tutors, Mr. Winters, Miss Dempsey, and Miss Tighe. They have helped guide you all to develop your potential and embrace your strengths. They've looked after your well-being and have always been there for you in a time of need. Please express your gratitude for your well-being tutors now with a heartfelt thank you. A huge thank you for all the hard work, support and efforts given by our guidance department. The never-ending appointments and chasing after each of you, re-college place applications, CAO, apprenticeship advice and emotional support. They will be here for you in August when those results come out. And they will continue that support and advice. Miss McAvoy and Miss McCormack, we thank you. And we also thank Ron Ivorian, who have supported so many of our students over the years. I'm sure you'll agree with me that this afternoon has been exceptional. Thank you to all the hard work and effort of all staff, the music department and the music students led by Miss Leahy, the art department led by Miss McCormack, thank you for designing and creating the theme. Mr. McCann, thank you for taking care of the wheels for the wall art. Mr. McConnon and his Improving Our Built Environment team, thank you for designing and making this beautiful lectern that we have all had the privilege of standing at today. Each and every one of you have done an exceptional job. We sincerely thank Ms. Teeling, our graduation coordinator. The barbecue held earlier and the behind-the-scenes work, the planning and preparation for today's venue are a credit to you and all the team. Ms. Denning, Ms. Budaite, Ms. Stewart, Ms. Gorman, Ms. Riley, Ms. Vaughan, Miss Crosby, Miss Smith, Miss Tierney. A sincere thank you to all the students and staff, Greg, Eamon, Linda, and Francis, no less, that helped prepare for this afternoon's celebration. A big round of applause for all, please. We wish you all a safe and happy afternoon. Safe and happy. And before you go this evening, can you please take your profile pictures away with you at the back there? If you think they'll get damaged, you can leave them and you can collect them in June. I'll have them outside my office for you. But finally, before we have the final roll call and you sing your closing song, we have one last person to mention. You may or may not be aware that after more than 40 years, Francis is rightly retiring. Perhaps Francis would like to stand up. Francis, just stand up for a moment there. We will miss Francis, but here's a little message from one of her favorite singers.
It's that time of the afternoon where we go to the tutors' final roll call 2021-2022, it's my pleasure to ask up our first tutor, Mr. Owen Winters.
Like Kirvok and like Mr. Smith, I too am waiting for my growth spurt. It hasn't come yet. We've heard the word pride a lot this afternoon, and it is with that very real and very deep sense of pride in this group that it is my honour and my privilege to read the roll call of 6 Muckgiverick for the last time. Keith Carolyn. Anna Cunningham. Bernard Doherty. Lauren Farrelly. Emma Fleming. Kate Floyd. Ronan Giles. Dermot Jones. Mark Jordan. Chloe Kane. James McCabe. Cian McFadden. Jack Moriarty. John Paul O'Byrne. Sheena O'Donnell. Colin Plunkett. Saoirse Riley. Cara Smith. Kelly Smith. Amy Weldon. And Leah Young. Aoife Hines Rooney.
And now can I call up our next tutor, Miss Susan Dempsey.
Sorry, that was a bit clacky. I too am very proud of all my children in 6 Neumstig. I have been christened Tutor Mammy. I am the mother of just 2 children at home, but I feel like I have 19 this year. So with that, I'd like to take the last roll call for 6 Neumstig. Sean Brown. Dara Dillon. Tamara Dooner. Matthew Duff. Max Farley. Jamie Halloran. Martin Kearns. Rosie Kelly. Maria McCabe. Michael McGovern. Josh Mead. Kirvok of Finnegan. Reuben O'Neill. Brian O'Reilly. Jacob Walatek. And Saoirse Winters.
And can I call up our final 6th-year tutor, Miss Mary Tighe.
And it's a great pleasure. I will call the last tutor roll call for 6 Nehaig. Alex Armstrong, David Blaney, Emma Carey, Jessica Carey, Hannah Cassidy, Lisa Clare, Chloe Clark, Caitlin Devon, Charlie Farrell, Scott Farrell, Cormac Farrelly, Josh Flanagan, Kelly Gilsonen, John Gomez, Anya Lynch Duff, Nathan Martin, John McGreevy, Andy Monaghan, Anthony Monaghan, Sean O'Reilly, Connor Price, Nadia Smith, Gary Smith, Kaylee Tierney, and Nico Tolan.
Now, we're at 3:26, sir, not too bad. Well done, everyone, and thanks so much for everyone for contribution. Wasn't that slideshow amazing? Let's give Miss Bedidy a big clap. So we're now at the end of our ceremony. I hope you really enjoyed it, and you can watch everything back on the link that was sent out by text to your parents, and it's also on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. So at the back of the gym is your profiles. They're on pegs. Can you leave the pegs and just take your profiles with you, please? And because I need the pegs for next year. And thanks very much, and we might see you down the road later, okay?